Mein Name ist Jakob Fliedl, ich spiele Fagott bei der Deutschen Staatsphilharmonie Rheinland-Pfalz und nebenbei bin ich auch Komponist und deswegen freue ich mich besonders, dass die Komponistin Rachel Portman Zeit gefunden hat, mit mir über ihr Werk Tipping Points zu sprechen. Rachel, it's wonderful to have you with us.
Well, it's lovely to meet you. I'm thrilled you're going to be playing it.
Rachel, for people in our audience who may be discovering your music for the first time, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and about you as a composer?
I have written over 100 film and television scores and also quite a lot of music for the concert hall as well. Although I think I'm probably known mostly for my film work, certainly as that's how I started my career. And I enjoy mostly writing for orchestra or, orchestral instruments. And so my music is very influenced by my classical background and training, I guess. And I tend to write music which is melodic, and I like writing music about the environment and about nature and climate change, and those are my concerns. So quite a lot of my concert work is informed by the environment, and that's how I came to know and to work with Niklas Liepe. Because we're both interested in the same things. And so that's how, we met, and how it came that I ended up writing a violin concerto, which is Tipping Points, especially for him.
You mentioned that you also, of course, very successful film composer. And I wanted to ask you, you work across these very different musical worlds. And film, opera, and concert music, as you said. And is there how do these different worlds inform one and another? Like this, I imagine this writing for film is very story driven. Do you take this in account for composing for the concert hall?
Yes, I mean that. I think you understand the nature of what I do very well, because essentially I see myself as a musical storyteller or dramatist. And even though I've done a lot of film, I think I'm still working with emotion and telling stories in my music when I'm working outside film. And that there's an internal story, or there's or I'm dramatizing something. And so and I'm interested to write music when I'm writing outside film. I'm interested still for the music to have a dramatic and a storytelling element to it. So I work very closely with themes and ideas sort of musically, even though there's no film. And people often ask me, "Oh, is it very different, to write something for a film?" Well, it is, and then to write a piece of music that starts from nothing, which is something for the concert hall, and it is different. They're different skills, but essentially, what begins to happen as I'm writing is that I'm responding to an engine of storytelling or of dramatizing. So it's similar in the end.
Wow. So you said about the storytelling, and you enjoy very much writing for the orchestra, and I wonder how much the tools you have within this orchestra like shape your storytelling process, if this makes any sense. Like how, for example, this is a violin concerto. How did this shape the process of your storytelling in
Yes.
this?
So in Tipping Points, it's a piece in 6 short movements, it starts with an invocation and it ends with an epilogue, and then it goes through the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water, not in that order. And I used the solo violin as the principal, the protagonist, who is leading the listener through these stories of water and fire and what is happening to our planet. And he as the protagonist is basically telling the story. So, for example, in the movement about fire, the violin is like a voice which plays with the orchestra, but is gradually engulfed by fire. And this, so the melody and the calling that the violin plays in that movement, it starts fine, and then gradually the fire engulfs and takes over everything until everything is destroyed, which is what happens, what fire brings, and there's nothing there left, and except for this single voice of the violin at the end with these with what's left. I should say that there's only one movement of the 6 movements that's really dark, and that's the fire one. Water is full of joy. The earth movement is about asking people to listen to the beauty of the earth and to, reconnect with nature. So in many ways, Tipping Points is a mixture, but it's not at all difficult. And there are poems that precede each movement by Nick Drake, which are really beautiful poems, which are wonderful because it means that the audience is really connected to the music that they hear just after each poem, so that they're really focusing on what the poems have said.
These poems were written with this concerto in mind, and
yes.
this came about together. Yes, okay.
Yes. So Niklas and I spoke originally about writing something about the environment, and I was thinking, that's such a good idea. But well, I want to do this, but how do we involve the listener? How do we involve the audience? I didn't want to have a film running at the same time, and I thought, how can we really, ground these ideas that we want to talk about? So I suggested to Niklas, how about we work with a poet and have, and he was very open to the idea. Niklas is very interested in ways of connecting with people and connecting with audiences. And he's a very really open-minded, imaginative, person, which I love. And so he said, yes, let's do it. Let's do a concert that has, that is connected to these poems. And so this is why, so I brought in someone I've collaborated with before, this wonderful poet called Nick Drake. And that's how the piece evolved.
What do you hope listeners will experience emotionally and imaginatively when they hear this live in the concert hall? So
I hope that listeners will be moved. That's what I hope most, and I think and feel an emotional connection to the storytelling and the music that Niklas and the orchestra will play. It's interesting to me that I've been with an orchestra before in Sweden at the Norrlands Operan, and the orchestra were really moved by the whole experience of playing this piece, and with the addition of these excuse me, with the addition of the poems. And I think and that made me so happy that the players in the orchestra were invested in, the importance of the story they're trying to tell. And for me, that is my mission, so I'm hoping that the audience will listen, and listen carefully.
If we would have to convince people who haven't bought tickets to our concert and are undecided if they should go or not, and because of course, there's wonderful recordings of this concerto, but why is Tipping Points a piece that really benefits from being experienced live?
Oh, I think it's a very uplifting and deeply moving experience to witness Tipping Points and to hear it played live, and to, with Niklas and an orchestra. Niklas is a very engaging performer, and it's something very special to hear this piece live. And it's about now. It's emotional. It's accessible. The music is not sorry. The music is engaging with the audience. That's the whole point. And it's an interesting, different kind of concert because there are these words, and it's really relevant to now, and it's something a little bit different and interesting, and there are, it's touching. It's difficult to sell your own things.
Yeah, I know.
What is, this is not something necessarily that's helpful, but it matters so much. Our earth and our environment and where we live, it matters so much. It's where we, all of our humanity, where we all share this earth, and this piece of music is a way of helping us engage with, the earth that we live on, and it's a moment to celebrate its beauty and think about its future. All those things, and its intention is to be enriching and informative, and something really beautiful that Niklas and you will play, the orchestra. I know will play really, really well.
Thank you. It's also amazing that you choose to use your artistic voice to convey this message, to really focus on this very actual problem that is surrounding us, and it's a very, very powerful goal as an artist. It's very impressive.
Thank you.
I will let you know how it went.
Let me know. Please let me know how it goes. I'd be really interested. Thank you. All right.
So then all the best for your upcoming projects.
Thank you.
And so much thank you so much for taking this time. I know your schedule must be very, very full and very intense, and it was a big honor talking to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Okay.
Then,
all right. Okay, thanks. Bye.
bye.